In this podcast episode, we're going to talk about what's the best way to market your business and whether or not you should spend money on ads. This is a Detailing Business Class podcast. And thank you for coming back to another podcast episode. I really do appreciate you clicking on my episode, whether you're listening to this on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever. I do really appreciate everyone that does listen to these podcasts. I do my best to kind of, do the best that I can with the audio and giving you like quality, valuable information. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast episode. So yes, today we're going to talk about what's the right way to market your business. Now we're going to go through a few phases in where and how you should determine what's the best course of action for your business at the time. Because obviously if you're at, let's say $10,000 per month, that's a different type of kind of resources or where you are with your business where you can market compared to if you're at, barely making your first $2,000 per month, right? So depending on the phase that you're in will really determine what kind of marketing you're able to do. And not just the phase, but obviously the resources that you have, because you could have someone that's just getting started, but if they have $4,000 per month to put into their business, well, that's a bit of wiggle room that you can allocate towards marketing versus someone that's been in business for however many years. They're making, $5,000 per month in their business, but that's still not enough to really go after, X marketing, but they can go do Y marketing. So there's a few variables that you have to take into consideration when you're thinking about what's the best form of marketing based on your current situation. It's going to be different for every single person. Even if you guys are, if there's, X and Y person and they have the same budget, they're making the same money per month with their business, they have the same time and resources, even the marketing between those two people will be completely different on what actually yields results. That's the way things go. If it was the same for everyone, well, then everyone would be doing the same thing and there wouldn't be as much, wonder of what you have to do to market your business. So that's really the reality of, what's the best. But it's really going to come down to quite a few variables that would dictate what's best for you. Now, one thing I do want to mention before we get started in the episode is that tomorrow, the 26th, I'm sorry, not tomorrow, but on Saturday, the 26th, I will be opening up enrollment into my online marketing course, SEO for Detailers. This course is where I teach you on how to rank your website on the first page of Google for targeted keywords in your local area. So if you're in Austin, you'd want to rank for keywords like Austin car detailing, Austin mobile detailing, Austin paint correction. And that's because on a monthly basis, depending on where you live, there could be hundreds or thousands of people searching for detailing services in your area. And if you optimize your website properly, if you're able to rank it on the first page of Google, well, you're able to get a lot of those clicks that turn into traffic, that turns into leads, that turns into sales. So the 26th, this Saturday, I'll be opening up enrollment into my online course, SEO for Detailers. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with this episode. Now, if you've listened to any of my recent podcasts or my YouTube videos or even my emails, I always talk about there's only a few handful of marketing channels that you can actually use to grow your business, right? At a macro level, at a high level overview, there's organic and then there's paid, right? Organic marketing channels are ones that you don't have to pay for anything, as far as like you don't have to pay money in order to show your ad or whatever content you want to show to an audience. So organic is, you're posting YouTube videos and over time you build up an audience. You're posting Instagram photos, videos, reels, and over time you build up an audience and get traffic. That's, optimizing your website for search engine optimization. And over time you move up the ranks and get ranked on the first page of Google. So all those marketing channels are organic because you're not paying for anything. It's just you over time, providing value, optimizing things, being consistent. You're building an audience, traffic to your website and such. Now, paid channels are going to be like Google ads. It's still Google, except instead of search engine optimization, SEO, you're paying Google to show your ad on the first page of Google. So that's paid ads. You have Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and YouTube ads. It's all going to follow the same thing where you are paying that platform to show your ads to a specific set of customers or to a specific audience in a specific section or specific area, I should say, about your services. So you have organic and then you have ads. Now, typically speaking, just as a whole, just generally speaking, organic marketing channels will take longer than paid ads because with organic marketing channels, you have to work at it consistently over a long period of time. Meaning, let's say you wanted to create YouTube videos and over time you wanted to offer detailing services, right, through that YouTube channel. Well, no one's watching your videos until you actually start to garner views, right? In the beginning, you might get 10 views, 15 views, 25 views. And over time, being consistent, trying to get better, on your 20th video, you're now getting, 100 views. And on your 50th video, you're getting 1,000 views. And on your, 200th video, you're getting 5,000 views. And I'm just making up this as an example, but over time, as you consistently post and try to get better and try to, add value and try to, get better at content creation, well, then over time, you get to build that audience and traffic, and then you're able to kind of monetize it by, offering your services. The same thing is said for Instagram, right? You post, once a day, you post a couple times per week, then a couple times per day, and over time, being consistent, posting quality photos and videos and reels and stories, and providing value and documenting over time, you get to build an audience of followers, and sell your services. So again, the main thing of that is it's quote unquote free, right? You're not directly paying Instagram or Google or YouTube for those eyeballs, right? For people watching your content. But you need to somehow attract that content through the algorithm, through being quality content. But it's more of a long haul. It's a long-term play because you're not going to get tens and hundreds and millions of views over the next three. Like it just doesn't happen. So it's a lot slower progress. You're not spending much money on organic channels because it is, as far as the platform itself, obviously, if you want to post YouTube videos, you have to get a camera, a tripod, a mic. So there's costs associated with that channel. But as far as directly paying for that channel, that's not what you do with organic. Now, on the other side, with paid ads, you're able to get results much faster because you're paying Google, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook to display your ads in front of people that you think want your services. So if you have a budget of $300 and you spend it over 2 weeks, you're going to instantly generate traffic lead and traffic clicks and traffic to your website, right? If you have $300 over 2 weeks, you will generate immediate results. Now, result as far as you're actually getting some type of data. I'm not saying sales. I'm saying result as far as, okay, people are clicking on your website. People, there's impressions on your ads. People are clicking through to your website. Like you are getting results in that manner, not so much actual sales. And that's why on the paid ad side, it's much more attractive to most people because what? You want the results now. You don't want to wait, for instance, for me to rank my website on the first page of Google back in 2014, 2015, it took me 9 months. Other people that I've helped, it's taken them 3 months, 6 months. So it's going to change person to person. But, do you want to wait 3, 6, 9, 12 months in order to see results? Most people don't. Most people want to see them right now. So that's why paid ads is always a more attractive thing because it's like, oh, I get results now. I can get things going right now. And, depending on where you are, there's no right or wrong answer, right? As a whole, again, thinking macro, big picture thing is I would always recommend first getting an organic marketing channel down first that's actually generating leads and sales, and then focus on a paid channel. Now, when does that make sense? It's just going to depend. There is no timeline to this. But I would say if you are in it for the long haul, if you really want to maximize your ROI, it's like I would first focus on an organic marketing channel, even though it might take a while. I would first focus on that and then go into a paid ads. The reason being is that if you're primarily focused on paid ads and you're getting customers through there, it's going to be more expensive if you just have one marketing channel and that one marketing channel is paid ads. Now, if you have an organic side that's basic, quote unquote, generating free leads. And I say quote unquote because again, there's still cost associated. Like let's say your website's ranking on the first page of Google. Well, you're still paying for, let's say, Squarespace, which I think is like $19 a month. You still have the I don't know, like the $15 for the year for the domain name. You might be paying for, your workspace email. That's like $5 a month. So there's still some cost associated to this thing, but you're not paying. You're not directly paying, Google to organically rank you on the first page. So that's what I'm getting at. But what I'm saying is, if you're paying for ads and just paying for ads, then it gets rather expensive because you have one marketing channel and the funds that you have is directly tied to the number of customers that you can get. But if you also have an organic side and you're passively getting leads, right? Because you're not paying for any of these leads, you are just getting them passively because you're now ranking on the first page of Google, or you have an Instagram strategy that's working, that's actually generating leads. Well, now if you look at both of them, you get a bit more wiggle room because you have this organic channel that's also generating leads. So I'm trying not to get too complicated because then that's not what I'm trying to do. But basically, if you have an organic channel, it kind of allows you to have more flexibility and more freedom or wiggle room on the paid side. Because now, since you're already getting customers through here at no cost, you're able to spend a bit more over here, or have a bit more wiggle room to kind of spend a bit more, or if the cost per lead goes a bit higher, or you just be able to be a lot more flexible. So that can only happen if you have an organic channel running. On the other hand, or as a side note, is that once you stop, like if you don't have an organic channel and you stop running ads, or for whatever reason you have to lower the ad spend, meaning how much you're spending per week or per day or per month, well, then the results will immediately take a hit as well. Now, yes, there's some things that just if you're spending $80 a day, and does that automatically beat someone that's spending $60 a day? No, it doesn't. So I'm not saying that just because you decrease the ad spend, you automatically see a drop in performance, because sometimes you can still be getting great results and outbeat someone that has a higher ad spend just by optimizing your campaign properly. But aside from that, just something comes up. I can't tell you whatever reason, but for you're spending $1,000 a month, and now you're like, dang, let me draw back to $600 a month. You're going to see a drop in performance just because you don't have as much money put into the system or into the machine to go and get you those traffic leads and sales. Whereas if you have an organic channel running, even if you do decrease your ad spend, you still have this organic channel that's bringing in customers, right? So it kind of gives you more of a wiggle room, flexibility to say, okay, even this one drops, I still have this one coming in. Now, again, there's no timeline to this. So to me, like I would say, it took me 9 months to rank on the first page of Google. I didn't worry about anything ads related. I didn't think about running Google ads, Instagram ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads. I was primarily just focused on, okay, let me rank my website on the first page of Google. That took 9 months. So it took 9 months just SEO, organic. That's all I want to focus on. And after that, then I was like, you know what? Now that I have this locked down, I'm generating leads, I'm getting customers on a monthly basis. Now it makes sense to go and think about Google ads. Now again, like it's not like it was 9 months and at the 10th month mark I was like, okay, time to run ads. It wasn't like that. I'm just saying that was the timeline of, okay, Google search engine optimization, organic, and then let me think about Google ads. That's how I would recommend it. Now again, it's going to be dependent on your situation, on your finances, on your resources, on your goals, and where you are with your business. If are there plenty of detailers out there that only run Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or Google ads, and they're making a killing off that? Absolutely. Like, yes, like, so I don't want to paint like a black and white picture of, if you're doing this, that's wrong because you should also be doing that. I'm not here to say that, not at all. It's if you're getting results from it, keep on doing that, right? From wherever you're getting results. If you're running Yelp ads, if you're on some wherever, like if you're getting results from something, do more of it. Like that's the magic answer right there. Whenever you get results and you're actually getting sales or leads and it's actually working, just do more of it, right? So if you're spending, let's say you don't have an organic channel, but you're spending, $40 a day on ads, and it's like, oh man, we're getting a bunch of leads, a bunch of sales. Man, now let's go do SEO now. It's like you could, which is great, and I'd recommend it. But could you go from $40 to $50 per day, keep everything the same, and since it's working, you should get more return on that. So it's like whatever's working, just do more of that. So that's big picture. I know it's a long answer, but that's big picture. Now, if you want like instant results and you know you have that budget and you know you have some type of runway, like for instance, like for tech startups, when they go get funding, let's say like Airbnb goes and raises, $10 million in a series A, series B round, right? So they have $10 million. So they'll calculate, okay, $10 million should last us at least, let's say 2 years, right? We have 24 months to grow, to figure out how to be profitable, whatever, right? So that's like they call it their burn rate, meaning how much work, like how far does $10 million take us? So the same, very simplified version, but for you, it's like, okay, I have $8,000 that I could put just into ads. How far is that going to take me? And is that 8,000? Am I going to see a return on that? And I'm keeping things very simple, but it's like you could, like, if you have the finances, if you have the resources to run ads for the long haul, then it makes sense. But if you just have, I have $500 and I have that for this month, and you put all your chips on that $500 for that 1 month, and you make one sale for $240, and you just give up, ads will never work out for you if you have that mentality. So like a big portion is like, do you have the money for it? Like, that's really what like, do you just have the money for it to spend money on ads? Because if you don't have the money, you stop the campaign, the leads stop. As simple as it is. If you don't have the money, the campaign stops, the leads stop. That's what it comes down to. So that's why I highly encourage you, because with an organic channel, once you get that up and running, it if you stay consistent with it and keep on doing what you're doing, it keeps on running for the long haul. But with paid ads, if you're running for 1 year, 2 years, or let's just say 6 months, and at the 7th month you're like, okay, let me cut the ad spend in half. You're gonna see a big drop in performance as well, right? So it's paid ads is directly connected to how much money do you have to spend, right? And on top of that, like you have to be a lot more diligent with paid ads as far as how much are you actually spending, right? Are you actually seeing a return? Is this money actually going to good use? And with paid ads, like you have to be able to stomach, like if you're spending $800 per month in ads, a big portion of that is going to go to waste, right? Because not waste as far as you're just throwing it out the window, but it's like every dollar is not going to return a customer to you, right? Like out of $800, a lot of the clicks, a lot of the leads, a lot of the traffic is gonna turn up to nothing, and that's just like a reality you have to face. Like every advertiser, that's the name of the game. Like most of your ad spend won't bring you results, but it's like if you stay consistent with it, if you can stomach the idea of like I'm gonna spend 800, and I might not make anything in the next 2 weeks, but the third week I might make something. It's a different mentality to have than just running organic channels. Again, it's organic, long term, slow paced. Over time, you get results. Paid ads is now short term, and if you have the budget for it to run for that long, you can keep it continually running. But as soon as you drop the ad spend, or you just can't keep up with it, your results drop with it as well. So there's no right or wrong answer. Where are you with your business? If you've been doing organic marketing with Instagram or SEO, and you're at $5,000 to $7,000 to $8,000 per month, and you just want to kind of you really want to increase your leads, then paid ad would seem that's something that would work for you if you give it the proper time and attention to absolutely understand and implement what you're supposed to be doing for that platform, right? I'm not here to say, oh yeah, 100% do YouTube or do Instagram or Facebook or go, like any one of those will work if you put the time and attention to understand how to use that specific platform, right? I'm not saying YouTube is any better than Google or Facebook is any better than Instagram. It's whatever you put your time and energy into, whatever you learn how to use to really maximize your results and to get most out of it, that's what's going to work. But if you just had to ask me, what's the best marketing platform as far as paid ads, I would first go with Google Ads. That's the first thing that I would try to knock down is Google Ads. Just because like the reason why I would choose Google Ads is because if you plan on doing SEO, search engine optimization, you could cover both fronts with your brand. Meaning, if you want to work on SEO, that's search engine optimization, right? So you're going to rank your website on the first page of Google organically, right? And let's say you achieve that or you're working on that. Meanwhile, you also are running Google ads inside of Google. So you have the potential of showing a paid ad results on the first page of Google. And then you're also going to show your organic listing on the first page of Google. And if you're really doing things right, you even show up on the local 3-pack on the first page of Google. So between SEO and Google ads, you can show up to 3 times on the first page of Google if you're doing everything right. So that way, when anyone is searching for whatever keyword you're going after, Austin mobile detailing, Austin paint correction, Austin ceramic coating, whatever it is, you're able to take up 2 to 3 spots on the first page of Google between an organic channel and a paid ads channel. So I think that's very powerful right there. And like Instagram's gonna work fine, YouTube's gonna work fine, Facebook ads gonna work fine, Google ads gonna work. Like everything will work fine if you put the time and energy into understanding that platform, into actually learning how to optimize it and implementing the whatever strategies that you're working on, and you actually pay attention and you're looking at the numbers and trying to really optimize everything that you can. Like if you're doing that, any platform will work, but you have to put the time and energy into that specific platform in order for it to work. If you're like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna spend $400 over the next week or the next month, and if I don't get results, I'm just gonna stop it. It's like, well, with that mentality, when is anything gonna work, right? If you carry that mentality to Instagram or Google or SEO or Google ads or YouTube ads or you like, if you have that mentality anywhere, it's never gonna work because you're never gonna see results like that. It's like over the long term, even with paid ads, like just because you're running ads, there's still a waiting game to it, right? There's still like, okay, let your campaign run for 30 days and see what it produces. After those 30 days, look at the numbers and say, okay, this, that. Let me adjust this. Okay, let's run it for another 2 weeks. Okay, let's look at this thing. Okay, looking at this, looking at that. Okay, run it for another 2 weeks. Like there's still this thing called patience and like long-term strategy, even with paid ads. Even though I was saying everything is short-term and you get results now, you still have to wait in order to see what's working best for that specific campaign. Even if you're spending $1,000 per month, you still have to go through those iterations to make sure it's optimized to the best that it can be. Like you're not just gonna turn on the ads and just start seeing leads come in the very next day. Like you have, your campaign has to go through those iterations. You have to optimize that campaign. You have to understand what people are searching for and your targeting, your offer, your landing page, like all those things have to kind of synchronize together in order to get the best results. And that's not going to come from just a week of running ads. Like this is not how it works. It's patience, is consistency, is implementing, iterating, it's testing things. Like that's the name of the game when it comes to marketing. So I think my battery is about to die on the camera. So I'm going to end the episode right here. Again, on this Saturday, the 26th, I'll be opening up enrollment into my online marketing course, SEO for Detailers, where I help you rank your website on the first page of Google for targeted keywords in your local area. It's how we've grown past $10,000 per month. And it's what I've been doing since 2014. So if you want to check any links out, they'll be down below. I'll even have the link to sign up for the waiting list for the course on Saturday. And you can also find the ultimate guide to start your detailing business, my second YouTube channel, the Proper Care channel. And there will be a few other links down there as well. Thank you very much again for listening to this podcast. I really do appreciate it. And I'll talk to everyone on the next one. Bye-bye.